Welcome to today's interview. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to introduce you to Lee Wetherington Homes, a renowned name in Southwest Florida custom home building industry for 4 decades. Today, we have the pleasure of meeting the CEO of the company, David Hunihan. With a strong passion for creating exceptional residences, Lee Wetherington Homes has established a strong reputation for delivering exquisite craftsmanship, attention to detail, and unparalleled customer satisfaction. Lee Wetherington Homes has been in the forefront of luxury home building with a portfolio that showcases timeless design, innovative features, and superior quality. With numerous awards and accolades under their belt, Lee Wetherington Homes continues to redefine luxury living, creating homes that not only inspire, but also stand the test of time. It is my pleasure to welcome David today, and he'll share his insights and experiences with us as we go through our interview. Welcome, David.
Well, thank you, George. I appreciate you coming to talk to us today.
My pleasure. Tell us a little bit about Solstice and where we are and a little bit about this project.
So as you just mentioned, we're sitting in our Solstice model, which is part of Star Farms at Lakewood Ranch, one of the newest communities here in Lakewood Ranch. And it's a multi-generational community with homes anywhere from townhomes to where we are in the high end of the spectrum with luxury single-family homes. The Solstice model is a 3,500 square foot home under air with over 5,300 feet under roof when you add the 3-car garage and the beautiful lanai and outdoor living area that we have. It has 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a den or office here in the front, and then also a bonus room in the back that we've styled as a bourbon room. And the Solstice represents just some of the best features and details that we can offer to the market. As a custom home builder, we always want to showcase nice new detailing and things that we see the market looking for to be able to present to our customers, but is by no means all that we can do. It's sort of a showroom, if you will. And then our customers will come in here if they decide to be in this community or one of the other places that we build, and we will work with them to develop a plan that will be unique to their needs. We have a design center that they can pick out features and options beyond what you see here, and then they build their own custom home. But some of the nice things about the Solstice that you can see here, we have some great ceiling details. We use a lot of lighting, different materials, woods, stones throughout. You can see the cabinetry, the fine cabinetry that we've done, custom work, custom molding work like you see in the foyer. That to me is a great impact, something you don't see every day. Again, mixed with different lighting and accent. We have a guest suite that's separate by itself here, a very luxurious master suite with a huge walk-in closet. The closet's about the size of most bedrooms. And then there's a neat feature that we have here where there's a secret room behind a mirror for people that have valuables and want to store things that are a little bit more secure than just leaving them in your dresser or even in a safe.
Very interesting.
And then of course the outdoor living area, we have a pool with a spa and a fire pit built in and a sun shelf overlooking a lake and a preserve here in Star Farms. And we're just really proud of this home. It was probably the first home that I've built, not just with Lee Wetherington, but in my career that is truly a team effort where everybody on our team had a good idea that they contributed to it, from our in-house architect to our purchasing and estimating team, our salesperson, our construction team had some good ideas about things that would work and wouldn't work. And of course, the team at Builders Design who did the interior merchandising and modeling. And that allowed us to win a Best of Category Parade of Homes award already for this home this year in the local Parade of Homes put on by the Home Builders Association.
You can tell as we walk through it. It's well designed, but it almost looks well curated at the same time.
Well, thank you. I don't know if people realize what goes into building a model home. It's a challenge to both come up with new ideas and then execute them well in a relatively short period of time. And I'm really proud of this home, because, as I said, because the team, I think, did a great job.
David, give us a brief overview of the journey and the milestones since the company's inception, and speak a little bit about how the custom building industry has evolved during that period of time.
So I'll try and be brief, but Lee Wetherington Homes, one of the strengths of this company is we've been in business over 40 years. And in fact, Lee has been building homes in the Sarasota-Manatee area since the mid-70s. Lee Wetherington Homes was founded in 1981 and has been in that entity ever since, with Lee at the helm. He started as a small builder, just building one or two homes at a time. He was actually one of the first builders to participate in the Parade of Homes and helped set a lot of new trends and milestones in this area for home building in terms of his design and the things that he put in his homes. When I first started with the company in 1995, he was doing about 30 or 40 homes a year. And then we grew the company to 2000. In the year 2000, when I left, we were doing about 150 to 200 homes. And at the height of the market in 2005, Lee actually got over 400 homes a year, where he was one of the largest, if not the largest, local builder in Sarasota-Manatee County. And so going from a small custom builder to a larger builder, of course, necessitated change in our production process. At the time, we became went from custom to semi-custom to more even production custom, meaning we would do changes, but it had to be to our plans. So when the world financial crisis happened in the 2007, 8, 9 area, the market shifted. Our company shifted with it. We downsized again, back to more doing 2, 3 homes a month, 25 to 30 homes a year. And that's when Lee really went back to his roots and became a custom builder again. I came back to the company about 2 years ago, and we are really a true custom builder now in every sense of the word. We do have models like the Solstice and others that we build, but it's more an idea center, if you will. It's a sample home. And we really work with each customer to design their own dream, their own vision. We have an in-house architect that helps them come up with a design. We have a design center where they can go pick out any number of different features and options and selections and really personalize the home and make it their own. And in fact, some of our best ideas do come from our customers, which makes it really exciting.
That is exciting.
So over the years, Lee has evolved in that sense, being larger, small, large, and small again. Now we do about 3 to 4 homes a month, and we've capped it at that level. We don't want to get big. We're very happy where we are, mostly because it allows us to take care of our customers. And that's a really important thing for us to do right and to do well. What's nice about that, you asked about some milestones along the way. Lee's been blessed to be able to earn some accolades and awards, such as the Best Builder in America from Builder Magazine, also the Hearthstone Award from Builders Magazine, which is the highest philanthropic award a builder can get, recognized nationwide. We've won over 300 Parade of Home Awards at this point, which are done on a local basis for our local building industry association to recognize the best in design and merchandising and detailing. And so we're really proud of that.
What values and principles have been central to the company from the early stages, and how has that impacted the way you guys build homes today?
So that's a great question, and it's something that, George, especially over the last few years, where it's been really difficult to build homes, and thinking back to the market downturn where, every company was financially strained and it was a challenge. That's always a challenge to see, okay, are you really who you say you are? And do you live up to what your promises are? I have this saying, I didn't invent it. I forget where I stole it from though, but people are like tubes of toothpaste, and so are companies. When you squeeze them, what's inside comes out. And so difficult times squeeze companies, squeeze people. And so I've always believed that one of the best things about Lee Wetherington Homes is we do what we say we're going to do, and we always do the right thing. And we actually cite, CITE, our core values of consistency, integrity, transparency, and excellence. And consistency, because anybody can build a beautiful model once, but are we going to be able to consistently build that for our customers over time? Are we going to consistently show up and deliver on our promises with our developer partners? Are we going to consistently represent ourselves well in our community and give back to the community? Integrity, to me, that kind of speaks for itself. Are you going to do the right thing even when nobody's looking? Are you going to be truthful? Are you going to be honest? Are you going to deliver on your promises? All of that. Transparency, and when I mentioned the difficult times, that's been a tough one because we've been accused lately by our customers the last couple of years of not necessarily being transparent, because we don't always communicate every detail of everything that's going on. And with the last couple of years, with the lockdowns and the supply chain disruptions, we don't always know what's going on. So companies, especially builders, have a tendency to say, okay, I'll wait and figure out what's going to be before I communicate to my customers. And I think we've learned that it's important to communicate even when you don't have something to say or something good to say, to just at least say, hey, we're here, we're paying attention, we're working on it. And so that's something I and my team are working very hard on now. And then, of course, E for excellence. We try to strive for excellence in all that we do, trying to build the best possible quality homes. And that really brings us to our mission statement, is that we love building homes, and we want to give our customers the best possible home building experience. Because in the end, the other builders out here, a lot of us use the same trades. We use the same sticks and bricks. We don't have some special 2x4s that nobody else can get. Even the designs are not going to be that different. How many ways can you arrange 3 bedrooms and a den on a 90-foot home site, right? So what I think we can offer better and differently than our customers is the experience. And we're always working to get better at that and improve that. And the foundation of that experience, of course, is communication and setting proper expectations.
So would you say that's your competitive advantage today?
I sure would. And that's also the hardest thing to follow, because people can change a design, people can change a feature or an option, or build a different ceiling detail. They can even pay a little bit more for a subcontractor and get a little better level of quality. But are you committed to doing whatever it takes to bring somebody from the exciting dream that they have at the beginning of a home, and follow them through the process years after they've lived in it, to make sure that everything is what they expected? And that's not an easy thing to do, but we're committed to doing it. I will tell you, we don't always get it right, but we will always stay with it as long as we can to make it right.
A lot of our audience today are going to be people who are thinking about moving to Florida. So Florida, the data tells us that it is the #1 migration state, with over 400,000 out-of-state residents just last year alone. Speak to them in a way, because some of them, we have a unique climate here. We have different challenges with the weather. Speak to how we use resilient and sustainable business practices to build a custom home today that enables us to build houses that are at least ample for the hurricanes,
Sure,
for the high humidity that we have, and the other environmental factors.
So you wouldn't necessarily think about this, because a house is a house, right? They have walls and floors and ceilings and garages and whatnot. But this is actually something we face a lot with people coming from up north. We build homes for a lot of people from the Northeast, from the Midwest, and now we're even seeing people from the West Coast. So the first thing is, people come down and they have to realize we don't have basements. The water table in Florida is such that it doesn't really make sense to build a basement down here. It may not even be feasible in some neighborhoods, because you go down very shallow and you hit water, and we have to deal with water intrusion things. So you just typically will not see a basement in a Florida home. So what that changes then is, well, where am I going to put stuff? Where am I going to store things? We also don't generally have the same kind of attics that they might up north. So we incorporate into our designs things like Florida basements, larger walk-in closets. Those are the kinds of things that we look for storage. Larger laundry rooms that might have cabinetry and things like that, or oversized garages. So that's probably the first and most obvious. I also ask people, all that stuff in your basement, when was the last time you used any of it or saw it? And if it's been over a year, you might not want to bring it with you. Just leave it up there and stop moving it around. And so that also translates to winter clothes. Our climates are a little bit more consistent, so you don't need quite the same level of variation of clothing for year round. You might need a few light jackets and things like that. As far as the construction, I think you were talking about, a lot of people come and maybe they're from Massachusetts or Vermont, and they're used to snow, and they're used to the temperature dropping and having a 60-degree or 80-degree difference between the interior and the exterior. So they're really focused on certain things about the windows or other stuff, and about the furnace. Well, in Florida, it's almost the exact opposite of what you're doing up north. They're trying to worry about the load of the snow on the roof. We worry about wind load, which pushes the roof off. So instead of trying to keep the roof up, we're trying to keep it down. Instead of trying to keep the cold out, we keep the cold in. So it changes the dynamics of a lot of how we build things that are not necessarily obvious to people. But we have engineers, literally we have structural engineers, we have engineers that do the calculations, we have truss engineers that do the roof loads and things like that to look at the uplift and the wind loads for hurricanes. And so in the process, those are things that people wouldn't necessarily think about or consider that is a natural part of building homes in Florida that we take care of.
So on that note, let's talk a little bit about technology. Technology is continually moving ahead, and it's changed a lot of the building industry from planning, design, construction, home automation, even sales. So what can this new home buyer expect today to find in a luxury home?
Well, that's also a good question. You know, it's really, the answer is whatever they want. And sometimes that's a problem. I've found that people have a better time making decisions when they have a limited number of choices. If the sky's the limit, it's sometimes difficult to make a choice. But as far as what we do and what I think people are looking for, we provide structured wiring in every one of our homes. And so from a technology standpoint, we try and make the home ready like a skeleton for what the people may want to add to it later. We can offer things in our design center, and everyone that comes and builds a home with us gets to sit down with one of our trade contractors that does low voltage and does security and does technology from a standpoint of Wi-Fi and television and sound and music and et cetera. So that's one aspect of it. Of course, then you have the lighting. You can see some of the lighting details that we have here and some of the lighting in the foyer. There are systems that can control all the lighting in the house, that can control the fireplace and the TV, even the garage door opener and some of the appliances can all be remotely controlled. There are some people that's their bug, that's their juice, right? That's their cheese. They want that, they love that. There's some people that frankly never give it a second thought, and as long as they have Wi-Fi, they're happy. So we really try and offer some ideas in the model that are easy to demonstrate, and then we really turn the rest of it over to our trade partners so that they can tailor it to each person.
So are there anything new developments on the horizon for the new construction that are trends in the marketplace that we should be thinking about or coming our way that you can?
So it's funny you say that because I look at the home building business as behind the times for almost every technology that there is. We're still building homes the way we built them hundreds of years ago in a lot of ways. And we're slow to react and slow to change and slow to respond. And part of that is the inertia of the industry, and because we're one of the few manufacturers that builds our product out in the weather with people that don't really work for us. They're subcontractors in most cases for everyone to see. It's hard to control. So it's very different, for example, than building a car where you have a controlled assembly line. And so I think because of that, builders are slow to change because it just makes things that much more complicated. Now, to answer the specific question of what's on the horizon, what's coming, I think you'll see a lot more of the home automation. I think you'll see a lot of people that now, you can do so much just from your watch these days that people want to be able to tie that into their home. You're seeing smart appliances. You're seeing, I mentioned the smart garage door openers. I think, and in some of our next models will feature special door access points for Amazon deliveries. So somebody now will be able to be at work and they can open their garage door if they have a handyman that needs to get in or the pest control needs to get in. They'll be able to tell the Amazon delivery person to use the package door and they can lock it and unlock it. They'll be able to remotely open their front door for the cleaning people and then lock it and change the code if they need to or give them a code. They'll be able to turn the lighting on before they get home to get the temperature where they want it. And that's all available now. They could even have their appliances start because there's ovens and microwave ovens that are remote. If you put something in there, you can remotely start it. And there's even refrigerators now that have a little camera. So when you're at the grocery store, if you want to look and see what's in your refrigerator, see if you've forgotten something, you can actually look in your refrigerator on your phone. So those are things that are available. That's now. It's hard to say what's coming because I wouldn't have thought of some of that stuff even just a couple of years ago.
I don't think I want a camera in my refrigerator.
No, I wouldn't either, believe me.
Earlier, we talked a little bit about some of the accolades, and you gave us quite a few. But I want to talk about philanthropy.
Okay.
Because I'm aware that Lee, your founder, has really been supporting entity within this community for many, many, many years. And I'd like you to touch upon that a little bit and talk about some of the things that Lee Wetherington has done
Sure.
to support the community with initiatives that were focused on the well-being of this area.
Sure. You know, George, we're blessed to be able to build the American dream. And by what we do as a builder, by delivering homes and homes for families of all ages and lots of different communities in this area, and having been here for such a long time, we look at it as we've had this great opportunity to build a career and a business and impact families, that it's only right for us to give back to our community. And Lee has believed that ever since I think he started the business. And there are just about any community charity that we come across, if we can, we support it. But there are obviously a few that we focus on. We'll always support the schools, and we do everything from sponsoring the rally towels or specific things like that, to banners and whatnot. Or a lot of times we'll get a call and we'll agree to sponsor something that way. There's other local charities that come from time to time, or business trade organizations that we can give back to that they give to charities, and our money helps to do that.
I recall that you had donated $1 million to the Sarasota Foundation.
Yes, so there's a couple of big things that we do, and that Lee specifically has done. He created the Lee Wetherington Foundation, part of the community foundation, and he supports largely children and families and a lot of different causes through that. He's now supporting the Sarasota Medical Pregnancy Center through that, which helps women in crisis pregnancy and takes them literally from the time they know they're pregnant till after they deliver the baby, and helps them and supports them. It's a great organization. I also support that. The company supports that. The company has also been a huge supporter of the Boys and Girls Clubs for decades now.
I understand you rebuilt their facility.
Just recently, they did a kind of an expansion remodel, and we helped with that. There's also a building named after Lee that Lee built years ago. And he's always been involved with them as long as I've known him. And he's been on their board, and we continue to support their causes. And it's just a great organization. And in general, we look to support 501c3s or charitable organizations, not-for-profits that are in our community, either Manatee or Sarasota County, things that, especially if they deal with the construction industry, such as the trade schools and some of the things that the Building Industry Association support to help younger people get careers in our business, things like that. And then also anything dealing with children and families, those are important for us. And most recently, we joined the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund as the Builders Who Give Back fund that we're contributing now here in Star Farms and at Wild Blue and some of the other communities we build in Lakewood Ranch. A portion of every home is going to that fund on behalf of our customers.
So here's your last question, David. What do you enjoy most about living here in this part of Southwest Florida?
Oh, goodness. Well, you know, I said something earlier about it. Every day I get to get up and build the American dream. I mean, how many people get up and love what they do because they're able to create something that doesn't exist, that almost everybody wants and yearns for and dreams about? And that's really an amazing blessing. And obviously that's the more, I guess, esoteric element of what we do. But as far as living here, you know, I'm originally from New Jersey. I went to school in Boston. I was blessed to be able to move down here in the early 90s. And I look at it this way. I learned a valuable lesson when I came down here. You can live more of your life year-round in Florida, I think, than anywhere else. I don't worry about having to bundle up to run to the car and freeze and the gray days and all the rain and the time where you're just cooped up in your house and you can't wait for spring. And I know a lot of people talk about how hot it is here, but since I moved here in '91, I've never seen a 100-degree day. We had plenty of those back in New Jersey. And down here, it's just a nice, even pace. Like I said, you live more of your life year-round.
Nice people.
Yeah, wonderful people from all over the world. That's the other nice thing. Only about 30% of the people who live here actually were born or raised here. And so that's been really a joy. There's so much culture in this area. There's almost anything you could want to do, whether it's boating or fishing or going to the beach or theater or great restaurants, shopping. I mean, we really do have it all. And it's just a blessing to be able to live that way.
Well, David, I want to thank you very much. We enjoyed today. If you'd like to get some more information about Lee Wetherington Homes, go visit their website And this is George Latos for BeLocal, Lakewood Ranch, and for Love SRQ. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.